Hello, my name is Jose, and I've been living with kidney disease for roughly 4 years. I wanted to make a video kind of talking about what I've been up to and what I aspire to do in the future. And I want to make this video because I'm sure there's people out there who have been dealing with something similar where they feel they've had to put their plans on hold. Well, I'm here to say you don't. You can still aspire to meet those goals despite your disease or whatever you're dealing with. It's really just a lifestyle change, and really it's just about prioritizing. So to kind of highlight a lot of these things, how to prioritize and get everything together and try to manage your lifestyle, I'm going to talk about what I've been doing in the past 2 years. I've basically been, working on myself a lot, and really it all started when I wrote a blog. I wrote a blog where I would try to watch a video, a motivational video, every day for 30 days, and to see, how this would impact me in life in general as morale and try to be a more positive person. I also kept a journal about my diet, my moods, and after a few weeks, to be honest, I stopped writing the blog because I became so busy. I became so interested in so many things. I started a podcast called Classics at Josie's Cafe, which you could find on Apple Podcasts, and also Stuck in the Cafe, which was a little experiment that I did. It's on YouTube. But I started recording music again, and that just became something so much fun to me, something that I forgot that I enjoyed so much. And I started writing new music, so that's what I'm actively doing now. And along the way, I started realizing a lot of bad habits that I have, and both dietary and just in general, like mindset. I started acknowledging negative thoughts that would come into my head, acknowledging them and then dispelling them. And before I knew it, I became overall more positive person. Now, when I'm talking about positive, I'm definitely realistic when it comes to things. But what I mean positive is achieving certain things, overcoming hurdles to get where you want to get to. And really, what I developed over time, over these few years, was what I wanted out of life. And I think that's important for anybody. I think it's important for you to realize what you want out of life. Like, imagine how you want to wake up. Where do you want to wake up? And what do you want to do every day for the rest of your life? What's something that you want to have where you can't wait to get up? Something that you can equate it to a kid that can't wait to get up to go to Disneyland. What is your Disneyland? And for me, it's doing creative things. It's writing short stories, perhaps making short videos, or making music. And for me to be able to do these things, the foundation of my life has to be something where I have the income to do a lot of these things. And I think that's something very important that people don't talk about. They're like, oh yeah, go chase your dream, but they never talk about realistically how they're going to do it. Well, you have to work to make money, to save, and you can't just go around life buying Air Jordans and expecting you to be able to just shell out $900 to buy a camera to make, that amazing, film that you want to put to cans. Like, you have to manage your time, your money. You have to prioritize. You have to say no to things. You have to sacrifice things to be able to get to these goals. And that's really what I'm trying to get at, is that there is a lot of sacrifices, and when you are dealing with an illness on top of that, it's even harder, but it doesn't mean you can't do it. So for me, I had to kind of restructure a lot of things. I obviously don't have the energy to be able to go out and waste time staying over, you know, entertaining people till like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. I don't have time to, spend money on things that I can't afford, obviously. So, part of prioritizing is understanding what's really important in life. And for me, uh, I've learned that keeping up with your health is so important and vital to reaching those goals, because if you're not healthy, you won't have the energy to do these things. You're just going to come home. You're not going to want to do anything. And I went through that. Recently, for instance, I'm not perfect, and I'm telling you this so that maybe you can learn from it if you're dealing with the disease, and understanding the importance of keeping up with appointments. I hadn't seen the doctor in about 6 months when this happened, and I felt really low energy. I didn't feel like doing things. I wasn't really, I went from being so positive to wanting to still do things, but just feeling just tired and groggy. And really, what it was, I was severely anemic, and my body, just my kidneys weren't producing. They were sending the signal to make more red blood cells, and when I went to the doctor, like I should have had, they picked that up immediately, and they gave me some iron supplements, and I kept up with it. And it's crazy. Like in a matter of 2 weeks, I was back to the energy that I was supposed to have, and here I am wanting to do 20 million things again and trying to organize myself to be able to do that. So that's important. You gotta have to be able to, make that a priority. I can't stress that enough. That and your diet. Understand how to manage that. I do intermittent fasting, especially if I have a big meal, and I understand having certain meals with family members, and I definitely do that with, I'll cheat a little bit with family members and friends, because, for me, eating becomes a communal thing, and we don't think about that when we're healthy, but it is. So I say no to a lot of things. That's another part of it is, and I mentioned in other videos, is saying no to things that are going to just eat up your time, and they're not going to help you develop. Watching too much TV, hanging out with friends for immense amount of time and not doing anything. For me, I always want to do something productive. For instance, with my friends, we've managed to try to get a date together to go to sell some stuff on the flea market. To me, that's something important, because I want to get rid of stuff. I want to live a life where everything really has a purpose in regards to the things that you have. And that's a whole other conversation. But, you're doing things to better yourself, and you're surrounded with people that are going to help you do that. And so that's part of it. Saying no to people that are negative and they don't want to do things. They don't have a thirst for life. They don't have ambition. And it's okay to say no to those kind of things. So you start seeing these things when you're keeping a diary, or journal, like I said. And for me, after some time, I realized what I wanted out of life. And for me to get to where I wanted, I understood that nobody's gonna hand you anything. You're gonna have to work for it. And so I started going back to school. I went back to school last semester, and this semester I'm in algebra, college algebra, the STEM route for computer science, the payoffs to earn a bachelor's degree. And I want to document that. I want to show people that despite whatever disease that you're dealing with, or whatever hardship you're dealing with, you can achieve the things you need to achieve. and I want to document that, and that's what I'm planning to do. That's what I'm inspiring to do here. I'm gonna hopefully show you the bad and the good. On the days where I'm doubting myself, I want to show that, but I want to overcome that. And right now, I'm incredibly positive. I'm in class. I'm recording new music. I want to show that aspect of my life as well. Show that I'm still doing it despite everything. I'm still doing it, and at the same time, there's some little things that I have worked on. So that's really what I plan to do. Hopefully someday, I'll have some sort of acreage, with where I can hold chickens and have the house that I want to have, and be able to do a lot of things, travel, and be able to work on things that I feel are important. Like for me, I have a dream of having a garden and growing a lot of my food. So those are a little bit of my aspirations. But with that said, if you've stumbled onto this video and you feel like trapped, or you feel like you can't do these things, or you're just totally new to kidney disease and you're frightened, scared, I totally get it, because I was there. And I'm here to say that it's tough, but it doesn't mean you can't do these things. Just think of it like a tweak. You just have to kind of just manage it, and that's what I do. I used to be a free spirit, and I used to just want to get up and go, and it's not quite like that. Obviously you just gotta be more diligent about keeping up with your responsibilities, and that's something that I had to learn to do. I wasn't horrible, but you have to keep a mental check of your health, and you always got to be knowledgeable. You always have to keep vigilant about the choices that you're making. And so the best thing is to write it down, keep a journal of some sort, so that way you can go back and really understand, where you're coming from. I keep a journal. Well, it's kind of like a planner, but it helps me manage my bills and my spending habits. And also, I write down, my diet along with it. It's kind of like goes hand in hand. And so it's a weird like hybrid thing that I work on. But if you're, like I said, if you're going through this and it seems tough, tell me what you're going through. Tell me what are some things that are keeping you from doing what you want to do. Tell me what your aspirations are. I want to kind of build a dialogue, because for me, hearing other people empowers me, and I hope this empowers people who are listening. If you're listening or watching this video, I hope this helps, and I want to hear from other people, because that pumps me up. So if if you're going to get your doctorate, or if you're going to be a police, I don't think you could be, well, I don't know, but whatever it is that you're going, you're an artist, you just want to work in a bakery or something, I don't know. If you're aspiring to be something, I want to know what it is. I'm interested. And how do you deal with this? How do you deal with your daily life? Maybe there's things that can help me get to where I am. A lot of times I have these conversations with friends, and that helps me, friends and family, and that helps me put things into perspective. I have a friend that's kind of going through similar things. He has an illness too, and he's going to school, he's working as well, and kind of connecting with him is something I'm very grateful for, because we kind of bounce ideas back and forth, and part of all this is keeping ourselves accountable as well. So I hope that this helps us get to where we want to get to. So I appreciate you guys listening, and if you have any comments, just like again, let me know, and just don't let this hold you back. Do what you have to do, and don't let it stop you. All right, later.